Guys, what the hell is happening in the market? Well, we're here to tell you and break it down for you. For the first time in years, we are seeing a transition from a very, very strong seller's market into a more balanced market.
Now, considering we were moving at light speed, putting the brakes on this market might feel like we are in for a crazy change, but we are actually moving towards something that I think is mutually beneficial for all parties involved, which is a balanced market. So the sky is not falling. Let's just figure out what's happening right now to make sure that you're informed. And starting off, let's talk about what we've been seeing with our boots on the ground over the past couple of weeks.
All right. Well, first and foremost, what we've been seeing is an huge increase in inventory in the Durham region. We saw 53% more inventory hit the market in March than we had from the previous month in February. So there's a lot more opportunities for buyers, a lot more selection, and also the average days on the market is longer. So it's really giving the buyers the opportunity to do their due diligence, put some conditions in there for a home inspection, maybe some financing. So, that's a really positive change for buyers that we're seeing.
Yeah, absolutely. And just to touch on the inventory issue a little bit more, that's what we've been hearing for a very long time. Something that's very important to note is when they're tracking these inventory numbers, they're taking a look at new listings on the market. Now, what they're not taking into account is any listings that have terminated, changed their price, relisted, and that's what we're starting to see. So it's not just that we're getting more homes hit the market, but we're also having a big recycling of homes that didn't sell on their offer date. What that's doing is creating a backlog of inventory, and that's allowing buyers to really spread themselves out. Now, you pair that with increasing interest rates, buyers slowing down their search, generally speaking, and we are really seeing that transition in full force right now.
That's right. And we're also seeing a change in pricing strategies. It's in this weird transitional period where some people are using the old strategy of pricing below market value, holding offers, and hoping for a bidding war on offer date. But we're also seeing some sellers actually listing their homes at a price that they're expecting. So it's really imperative that you're taking a look at not only what you were before prices, $300,000 below what you're pre-approved for, but also taking a look at properties priced around what you're pre-approved for, because oftentimes if sellers price their property at, around what they're willing to expect, there might be a little bit of room for negotiation. And that's a word that, none of us actually remember, but it used to be that you would negotiate the sale price of a home. And we're kind of transitioning into a market where we can do that again, which is really exciting.
Yeah, and I think we're going to get there eventually, but we're definitely in the growing pains or shrinking pains, if you will, of this current market. Like Jane said, a lot of people are still trying to figure out what strategy is best. And in my opinion, I think it's largely dependent on what price bracket you're in, what demographics are going to be searching for your home. I mean, we are still in a seller's market. I think by no means have we flipped the script. We're still seeing homes sell, and we're still seeing them sell for good prices, but it is worth noting that if your home isn't marketed properly, there is a possibility that you might lag a little bit behind. I think that kind of transitions itself nicely into, if you're a seller, what are some tips? What are some things that you need to know now in this changing market?
Well, it's no longer about just putting a sign on your lawn and expecting multiple offers and bidding wars. What you really need to be careful of is that you're preparing your home for market properly, that you're doing, the cleaning, repairs, staging. Those are so necessary right now. And it's also crucial that you have a marketing plan for your property to put it in front of as many eyes as possible, because there is more selection for buyers out there. So you need to show head and shoulders above the rest online.
Yeah, now for the buyers, I mean, this is great news, this transition into a little bit of a more balanced market. And the best piece of advice that I can give you is just take a deep breath and relax. We're finally starting to see things become a little bit easier for you. You're starting to have more inventory to choose from. But the thing that I'm most excited for is the ability to negotiate. When you're competing in multiple offers, you're not really competing against the seller. You're competing against the other buyers. And if you're not up against other buyers, you can use that leverage to now deal and negotiate with the seller and try and drop down that price. I mean, we've already seen from some recent sales, homes are not hitting the numbers that they were 3-4 weeks ago. We've seen the peak of the market and we're kind of now on the downtrend. And if you have the ability to apply some pressure and use that leverage, then please go ahead and do so. I mean, you guys have dealt with a lot over the past 2 years. It's been a very difficult market to buy. So now that you have the ability to negotiate, make sure you're working with an agent who's allowing you to take full advantage of that.
That's right, Peter. And also something to note that we actually have seen a decrease in the sale to list ratio here in the Durham region. Over the past month, it's come down 5.6%. And, when you take a look at it, it's all relative. If you're a seller and you're getting a little bit less, well, you're also going to be buying for a little bit less. So just be patient, and it's time to maybe just adjust our expectations both on the buying and selling side.
Yeah, and I think with expectations too comes an adjustment of strategy, where 3-4 weeks ago, many months ago, there's no chance you're selling your house prior to having something already secured. Now that narrative changes. You might be looking to actually sell first and know what you have in your pocket prior to going out and buy. And if this correction continues and you're able to get ahead of it with the sale of your property, then that's just going to make the purchase of your home that much easier. So every market presents its own opportunities, and I think there's going to be an abundance of opportunities in this one as well. But you just have to know where to look and know that the person who's giving you advice actually knows what they're talking about.
That's right. So if you have any questions about what we were talking about today, please feel free to give us a call or shoot us a text or email anytime.